We're back again.
Soy Nate.
Y soy Nicole.
Y esto es Beber para la Trama. A video a donde hablamos alguno y todo por qué.
¿Quién no lo haría?
Y quién no pudo.
¿Verdad?
That was
Are we bilingual or what? Hola y bienvenido a the show.
So, how are you this week?
I could be a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
like
going
I'm, I'm happy to be alive, but
Yeah.
work has kind of sucked.
Why? What's
Because
happening?
we're understaffed.
Yeah.
Like, why is there a nursing shortage? Do we know? I loved season 5 finale of Rick and Morty.
Oh my God.
Did anyone else get hit in your heartstrings watching it?
Oh my God.
But how was your week?
My week was actually really good. I upped my medication in lithium because 2 weeks ago I was...
Shadow mental illness.
Hey, I'm bipolar. Yeah, I'm bipolar. And 2 weeks ago I was like having very suicidal thoughts. So I upped my lithium and now I'm having a much better week. And I also
love to hear it.
Got a new job. I don't know, I'm like running again. I'm journaling. It's really great.
Thriving.
Yeah, I love my car.
I love it. I love to hear it.
Yeah, so I'm actually having like a good week for the first time in a long time.
I love to hear that.
It's good.
That's great.
Yeah, check in next week when I'm jumping off the side of a building.
Check in next week when none of this matters. I know you want to be on the show. Should we feature her this week? Like, I don't know. We're going to bring her in. We're going to bring her in today. Look at that little lindo.
I love this Lindo.
I love her. That cat.
I'll die for this cat. Does anyone see this cat?
Taking a poll. If anyone would die for this cat, let me know. Let me know in the comments.
I'll give you a full view.
Circle alive.
So this week we are talking about body issues.
Fun.
Yeah, it's like a real trauma.
Everybody's got them.
It's a real trauma that gets sometimes inflicted just by yourself, which is kind of fucked up, not cool.
Yeah, I'm in this like weird place this week where like I know I've made very significant strides in my health and my fitness, but like I'm just not feeling myself this week.
Yeah.
I haven't really been going to the gym like I was. Like I was going every day at one point. And, you know, I definitely could eat better. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah.
Nope.
I kind of am at a point right now, at least, that I feel like I'm allowing myself to give myself a pass on working out and being like really healthy and all of this shit because I've been so concerned with it for so long. And now I'm just getting to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm having a good week this week. Things are going well. I'm like, okay, let's hold on to this version of yourself for a second.
Right.
And like, just let him
live in that moment.
To build on it. And then we'll get there. Like,
yeah. I know. Forget it. Forget it. It's cat hair the rest of the time, everybody. Where did your body issues start? Or I should say, what are some of your insecurities? Let's start with that.
Okay. My insecurities are just like the way that my body looks, like since it's not toned. Like I don't believe that I'm fat. I call myself fat all the time, but like I know that I'm not fat.
I absolutely hear you. I'm in this weird like in between size where like I'm not fat, but I'm definitely not like skinny or like fit. Yeah. So I'm just this like thick bitch. Like, you know, I'm this very like in between kind of moment.
Yeah, I'm very much so that. Yeah. I just have a lot of like I can see on my body where muscles would be. Yeah. And I'm like, that would look nice.
That would be cute.
That would be very cute. Like I still have the nice.
Can we get a muscle somewhere? Isn't it just like fucked up how, you know, for as long as I can remember, I've never really gotten to that point of like, oh my God, like this is what I've always dreamed of. I wanted my body to look like. You're killing it. Oof, girl, go off.
Mine was like from high school up until like the day I moved to New York City. Like the day I moved to New York City,
you were a baddie freshman year. I was like,
I'm ugly now. Like, it was awful. I had nice thin arms. My chest was like
yeah,
tight.
the little
I had a
washboard.
little washboard moment going
Yeah, you
on.
did.
Like my butt was cute as hell. I had just had my
she
teeth
is
done.
forever
Like,
looking like SpongeBob behind here, girl. Someone I used to work with literally was like, "You looking like SpongeBob, girl. Like you
is
ain't got
so rude to
nothing in
say
the
to
back." And I
someone.
said, "I know it.
It's
Someday,
so fucked up
though.
and rude.
Someday."
I don't like that. That really, like, again, bothers
Speaking
me.
of that,
It really bothers me.
speaking of that, we're gonna take a little trip down memory lane.
It's never gonna be any harmony. It's never gonna be good.
It's so
always
good.
gonna
No,
be
I
bad.
actually don't even want it to be a harmony.
It
It
won't
shouldn't
be
be.
a harmony.
When Nate and I were freshmen in college,
The first year we met.
this was like not that long after we met. Nate was like a little lit, and I had just uvu'd. Take that, whip it for a minute. Uvu'd. Uvu'd with my friend from high school who I was like kind of taking him. And this dude was really feeling bold that day and was like, "You know what, Nicole? If you lost a little weight, not only would you be healthier, but you'd be more attractive." And like, I thought he was kind of feeling me at that point too. And I was just like, wow, that was like kind of fucked up of him to say to me. Like, I mean, yeah, for sure. But like the freshman 40 was real. But I told Nate about that and Nate was like not having it. And that's when I knew that was my like ride or die for life.
Yeah.
He was not having it at like 3-4 in the morning. He took my phone, lit as and just left this dude a voicemail. And like, we're gonna clip it in. We're gonna clip it in right now.
I'm just saying how you're calling. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning on Thursday morning. I'm Nicole Cavallero's assistant, and I'd just like to say you're the rudest motherfucker that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. First of all, how dare you bring up a subject so sensitive to anyone, let alone a person who is self-conscious about their weight. You can text her phone all you want, but guess what? She wants nothing to do with your bitch ass and your
Don't say that. Don't say that.
That was a joke.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Don't say
but
that.
for real, don't call her fat, because she's a serious bitch, and you shouldn't
Don't
fucking
say
say that, because you know what? That's up.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. He deserved
Right.
it. And I don't really even know if he had bad skin. I don't think I'd even seen a picture of him. So me saying, like, you need to get proactive. Like,
You were just like riding or dying.
I was trying to find some insecurity that someone
Right.
would have for calling somebody else, basically calling them fat.
Right.
It's like, screw you. Like, you, who the hell are you?
Right. Some of my personal insecurities of being like, ooh, she thick, come from even like my family. My grandma said that after my mom passed. Because like at one point I was just eating, fast food in the little between moments that I had in my life, in between work and taking care of my mom all the time. And she wasn't taking care of herself because I had bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean? I had things on my plate. And she did let herself go a little bit. My grandma was sure to be like, Nicole, you let yourself go. I said, okay.
I can't
I hear
with
you.
that. My body issues that I have now, because I really didn't have it when I was younger, my body issues now come from moving to New York and like really trying to be like everyone else that I met. I constantly was like, oh, nobody wants to date me. Like it has to be because of the way that I
Right.
look. And like I just internalized that over the course of 12 years.
I know it.
And it just
And like,
killed
I
me.
can admit,
Killed
I
me.
was always kind of like a little bit the ugly duckling vibe. And then I got to college and it was like, oh, she's okay. But like, you remember, oh God, that's
Bro,
going to
I
be a
thought you
whole
were
other
so
episode.
pretty.
No, trip down memory lane.
The first time I met you, you looked so pretty.
No, she was
You were
like.
wearing a black sweater and your hair was down.
hefty.
No,
Yeah,
I honestly, and I have said this to you before,
I know.
I
but-
never am like, oh, like that's Nicole. Like she's heavy. Like she's my heavy friend. No, like that's Nicole and she's my f***ing bestie and she's hot as f***. Look at those pictures.
I don't
From the night
see
that we went out.
I don't see that.
I will say that you were heavier then than you are now.
Yeah.
And when I look back at photos, I'm like, oh, shit, I really didn't even realize it.
People say that, but I don't.
I never realized it until you lost weight. I'm like, wow, that's insane.
Yeah, but
It's just because you're a bad bitch. You carried yourself like you were a bad bitch. When did you feel the worst about your body? Like, when were your body issues like the worst?
the absolute worst. It
Yeah.
would probably have to be like rock bottom, like right after my mom passed away. Probably when my grandma was telling me like, yeah, you really let yourself go. Yeah, because life was like, I was in no way thriving. I was like barely surviving. I was just going between work. I worked all night and then I would like go to the hospital and take care of her all day. And I can count on like one hand how many times my mom was home in the year 2018. So I was just like, F it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cook.
Right.
Cook.
I'm like, who cares? Like I didn't have time to cook. B, I didn't have the energy. And C, like, why not when I was just like on the go all the time. So
Right.
Jordan took this picture of me in the bathroom. And like that photo, I look back on it and I don't even know who that person is. Like she is struggling. She is unhealthy. She is barely hanging on.
Yeah.
And like that's truly when I was like, ew,
Yeah.
you're gross. But at the same time, I have to give myself a little credit because I was taking care of everyone else but myself.
You were. You really were. I mean, you're working
You
out.
got a jawline.
And you're doing things for yourself.
I
And,
know.
like,
I could definitely always be doing better, but way better than where I was.
Who couldn't be doing better?
Who wouldn't, right?
couldn't?
Exactly.
Right.
Right. What about you? What was your worst?
My worst was in 2019, like the beginning of 2019, right before I was turning 28. I felt so like disconnected from who I was as a person, and it was like the deepest part of my like undiagnosed, untreated, no therapy, like hard depression. And there was a lot of suicidal ideation, and there was a lot of feeling like your body's not good enough for anybody, like nobody thinks you're attractive, like, and it's just f***ed up because at the same time I was an influencer and posting photos of myself with my shirt off, but editing the entire thing. So it's like there's a picture of me shirtless and it looks incredible because I know that an advertising sex sells, and I know that if I were to see that photo, I'd be like, I'll double tap that. And so I kind of was just like allowing myself to be consumed by this idea of what everyone else thought of me. And so it was like deeply rooted into who I was. So yeah, that was my worst.
I went back to West Kent. I was going to the gym with Brianna, and then I was going to the gym with Devin. Then Devin was running a boot camp class every morning at like the crack of dawn.
Of course she
And
was.
she was like, she's going to be my demonstrator. And I'm like, no, I am not. And
I love her
that's
for
what we were
that.
doing. Yep. That's what Devin and I were
That's
doing.
awesome.
And I was in like probably the best shape of my life at that point.
Yeah.
She was looking cute.
So where do you feel like on like the spectrum of like worst and best with your body issues? Like how do you feel that you're doing now?
Honestly, even though I'm not like at this ideal body that I have in my head,
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like the best that I do about my body, I'm so much more like grateful.
Yeah.
Having like seen a lot of shit with my mom and just in general, like I'm so grateful that, you know, I can even walk. There are people in the world who can't even walk, and that's so
Yeah.
sad. Like I'm definitely not at this like ideal body in my head, but I feel good about the way that I look and like the efforts that I've been putting in.
Yeah.
And I think I've come a long way, and I think that's something to recognize. And I just feel like sometimes it's easy to forget that.
I feel like I'm at a point where sometimes I'll look at myself and I'm like, wow, you are hot.
Yeah.
I look at myself and I'm like,
Ooh, girl, she's a super queen. She's a super queen. No, I feel that same way. Like sometimes I'll have like a little photo shoot with myself,
Yeah.
like when I got my hair done.
Yes.
Shout out Taryn. When I got my hair done and I was like, oh my God, like, can I be a model?
Right.
But other days, like, I cannot see the beauty. And I'm
It's like, is
ew,
that a
like,
gremlin?
does anyone even love you? Like, you're disgusting. We just want to go ahead and thank our sponsors, Spindrift. We see you liking our post last week.
We do, and I
We
really
do.
appreciate it.
I saw you.
Let us know if you
We're
want to
going to
sponsor
get
us,
that
because
sponsorship.
I know that you already are, and that's fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's good, but like if you'd like to sponsor us.
Right. I would love for you to like be an official part of the team.
Yeah.
Gracias por acompañarnos y nos vemos la próxima vez en Beber para la Trauma.
Well, we can't shoot anymore.
That has to be the one, I guess.
I know it. Ooh. They're going to be like, why Spanish?
I know it. Because I don't even know how to like have a conversation.
Okay. So how are
No, hang on.
you? I'm sorry. I didn't see that you were adjusting your
Do I need to put it on?
No.
I know, but I'm so white right there.
Who's looking at your hand there?
Okay. We're going to go for it this time.
Okay.
We're going to... Hola, bienvenido a la Blanca. I can walk, I can see, I can hear, I can talk, I can... You know... Am I okay?
I can walk, I can talk, I can sing, I can dance. Sorry.
Hola, bienvenido a la The View. So, I have to turn the air. Ashley, astrology, tarot card readings, it's all ungodly.